Good afternoon to everyone. I think earlier when Lowry spoke, he had already mentioned some of the key reasons why China has been able to accelerate its growth far quicker than in India. What I propose to do is to share with you some figures that will put things into context. Now, if we go back 5 years to 2014, the value of the Chinese market was 105 million US dollars, and India was 100 million US dollars. China was ranked 19th, and India was ranked 20th. So 5 years ago, similar size, similar positions. Last year in 2018, from the IFPI reports, you would see that the Chinese market have exceeded $500 million US dollars. The Indian market is at 156 million. So although there is growth in India, that growth lags far behind the growth in China. So the question in everyone's mind, of course, is what are the reasons that has driven China to grow that quickly, while in India the growth has been more muted? Now, I think, as Lowry highlighted, the key reason really is the focus, a very singular focus by the Chinese government on combating piracy, in particular piracy in the digital sphere. Now, when I joined IFPI in 2013, at the end of that year, so I was involved in a lot of anti-piracy work in China at the time. Out of the notice and takedowns that were issued in China, the takedown rate was half, 52%. Okay, so you can not good, not great at all. In fact, 2012 it was at 40-something%. We managed to push it up to 50-something%. But the situation was very bad. In other words, a lot of the Chinese consumers were still getting their music from illegal sources. That was at the end of 2013. At the end of June this year, the takedown rate in China is 97%. So when a notice is issued, it is taken down, right? And the time for the takedown is 2 hours. In 2013, it was 2 days to 2 weeks. In many cases, it takes 2 weeks before it is taken down. So you can see that the progress in China has been massive. Let me share with you the situation in India as at June, as far as notice and takedown is concerned. Of all the notices that were issued involving India, the takedown rate was 37%. That means of the notice and takedowns, the notices, the infringing links taken down was 37%. If you look at the notices, so you see each notice can involve more than one link. Okay, as far as the notices are concerned, the takedown is only 17%, versus China is 97% and 97%. So you can see that your rate in China of takedown versus the rate in India, is incredible. The gap is far, way too wide. In addition to the actions, these takedowns, the Chinese government have also implemented something they call the SWOT net action. These are administrative actions. So every year, from July onwards, the Copyright Office invites all copyright holders. So it's not just music. It can be music, it can be games, it can be books, anyone is invited to submit administrative complaints about piracy, about illegal content. And in the last 5 years, the music industry submits anywhere between 200 to 500 complaints a year. 500 around 2013. Today has fallen down to about 200 because the piracy situation is very much under control. Now, last year, of the 214 cases that were filed, 90% has been solved. So you can see even a solving rate by the government is very, very high. And 90% of the cases has been settled. 64% of those cases receive a warning after they have removed the illegal content. So 60% get a warning. some 11, 12% were shut down. So those who refused to take down, shut down. About 5 or 6% were fined and have their assets seized. So the computers that were used for the piracy and so on, that was all taken away. And there was also about 5 or 6% involving foreign sites. Now the Chinese situation is slightly different from India. Access to the foreign sites is more restricted. But nevertheless, there's still access to foreign sites. And the 6% of foreign sites that are targeting mainland Chinese consumers, those cases were referred to the Ministry of Information Technology to have those sites blocked. So you can see that they are very comprehensive. They take action legally to control piracy, and they also have a host of other measures to do that. Now let us then look at India. In India, there were IFPI issued notices to 467 infringing sites that are offering Indian content for this market, Indian and international content for this market. All 467 sites were based outside of India. Okay, and as Laurie said, the problem is that you issue the notice, they are not here, there is not much you can do from here. But then even though the website blocking measures exist here under Indian law, not much has been able to be done to block off those sites, because if you don't block off those sites to a consumer between free and having to pay, the answer is very clear. They go to a site that offers them free Indian content, or content that they want. So I think if you ask my personal opinion, what has been the single most important factor in the last 5 years that has caused this difference? Because 5 years ago, both countries were at the same level. How the country has managed digital piracy. Very, very crucial. And because of all those measures in place, so what happened is the Chinese government, you can see with the sites, right? If you don't take a license, they shut you down. So the key Chinese sites were then forced into getting licenses. You heard what Laurie said? The licenses were then voluntarily negotiated. The government don't step in and say, okay, you have to pay so much, or it's 2%, or it's how many percent. It's up to them to decide. The digital platforms make billions of dollars in income. They are far stronger than many of the copyright holders, most of us who are in this room. So they are in a perfectly good position to negotiate their license fees with the right holders, and they have, and that has resulted in the Chinese market growing. Now again, as Laurie has mentioned, the Chinese market is far off its potential, way off. I can tell you that the number of paying subscribers in China is still far off the 47% global average. Okay, I think it's not even at a double digit at all in China. Now, so you can see that even though today it surpassed $500 million, it is really way off its market potential. So there's a lot more to grow in China, which also means that in this market, in India's market, you have exactly the same potential, if not more. So there is a lot of reasons why we all have to work together, and governments' positive action in helping to control piracy, to enforce the platforms towards licensing is as necessary as the industry coming to work together, as has been mentioned by the IMI chairman, to ensure that royalties are paid, royalties are properly distributed and shared for the market to grow and to prosper, and for everyone in this market to have a fair share of the pie. Those are my comments. Happy to answer any questions any of you all may want. I can't go into, naturally I can't go into specific details of the licensing arrangements in China, except to say licensing is done voluntarily between the right holders and the platforms. Thank you.